Now I'm just going to talk about the construction of the gauge and how I've assembled it. So we have a hole here with the USB port coming out, which you can clearly see with this lid on the back that fits on quite tightly. So I will have to pry it off. So once that's off, we can see packed in here is the USB and the wires for the GPIO, which I do use to connect to the oil pressure sensor. So I have here the development board, which is on this little mount that I 3D printed. It kind of just clips into place. So there's little tabs here, small tab up here at the top, and these ridges at the edge of this bridge that will hold onto the bezel of this board, and the top and bottom hold it in place, kind of taking advantage of the flexibility of the material to just kind of click it in. Here's a low profile USB-C cable I bought. This is a ribbon cable, so I wasn't able to solder to it, but it did terminate into a normal cord, which I did cut off and terminate back into a USB-C female because it originally came as USB-C male to male. And then this little harness came with the dev board. I wired it up to what's under here is a logic level converter because it outputs 3.3 volt and accepts 3.3 volt as a reading, but the pressure gauge, or sorry, the pressure transducer would prefer 5 volts, so I use this. And I can plug that in right at the top here. So one flaw I do see with my current design immediately is I have the USB oriented the same way the cables are coming out of, which is the bottom. I could quite easily have as USB as top and the wires at the bottom and just have it like this, which would be a little bit more clean. That would be the first step of revision 2, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with design. A lot of the parts are friction fit, so this slides in here. It's nice and secure. You're going to have to press quite hard to get the screen out of there. And then just feed the wires through the bottom. And then manage that all back together. And the lid just pops right back on. Ideally, the lid just pops right back on. I did not design it with the best tolerances in mind for my 3D printer, but minor revisions. This is kind of a minimal viable product, so I'm quite happy with how this turned out.